Hello and welcome back to Spanish Animation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is Dispatches from Elsewhere, Season 1, Episode 10, The Boy. And it's also the season finale and most likely the series finale as well. So before I get to it, let me take care of some business first here, and then we'll get started here. If you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the very end of this video. You'll see a video pop up here. Basically, what YouTube does, takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. Up here is going to be Westworld is what's going to be up there. If you want to know when we'll be on live again next, you can get the bell setting down below down there. If you really want to know, that's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the weekly schedule that I have up there for my live streams. And it also has all the links to my social media as well. That's Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. I also put all this stuff on my Facebook page. And speaking of Facebook, there's a Facebook group page where you guys can join, post stuff, and chat amongst yourselves. So yes, I originally had this set for 7:15 because I had a brain fart when I did that, and I rejiggered the time on that to 8:20 is what I had on there. Yeah, well, before I get started here, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you haven't watched the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. This last episode was kind of out of left field. Quite honestly, I know we were all expecting something else. We all had different theories about what was happening. If this is old Peter that was getting ready, to die, and that he was in the virtual reality world and all this stuff. And I mean, we had all these different things, and then it turns out to be, and I hate to say this, it turns out to be a vanity project. It was really good up until the last episode, as far as I'm concerned. And then the last episode was kind of what killed it for me here. I agree with you, Viking Bitch. Didn't fit with the rest of the season, and yeah, I have questions as well. And there was some good stuff in it, I have to admit, but you could tell he was working through some stuff. And he's a very talented person. And like he says, he was working through some stuff that he was burned out. I didn't know he had actually was an alcoholic as well. I didn't know all of this, but the whole thing with him going on the journey where he ends up taking the postcard, that was actually when he met the creator of the institute, the Jejun Institute in San Francisco. So that whole thing was actually really what he went through in order to meet this guy. But he didn't get the postcard. He actually was watching the Institute documentary and decided to contact the guy who had put this whole thing together, and was told to come to San Francisco. And then when he got there, he was supposed to stay at a certain hotel, and he was given a note that, the exact note that says, no one will make you look stupid. And it was given a certain time and told that his name was Norman. He went through this whole thing. He talked about this on, what was it, Colbert Show, I think is what it was. And he was talking about this when he was promoting it at the beginning of the season. And this is not getting good reviews. I should say a good viewership. It's like roughly about 250,000 people is what the weekly viewership has been for this. So yeah, it's not going to get a second season out of this. And obviously they didn't have a second season in mind. It was a one and done season. And yes, it was a vanity project. Is what it was. And he even admits it in the episode itself where he says it's a vanity project. Yeah, I don't know what more to say about it at this point. Viking Bitch says this should have been the commentary track for the DVDs, not the season finale. Yeah, I agree with you. Yo Dude says this show doesn't have the viewership or critical acclaim to have such a masturbatory finale. Yeah, I agree with Viking Bitch more on this, that it should have been he should have actually had a real finale to it. and not uh, the self-indulgent one that he just did. And yes, I agree with the message that, we are not you, you're, or me, we are we, that kind of thing. I understand that whole thing. And uh it's I yeah, it is what it is. That's all I can say at this point. Um there were parts of it that I liked. I liked him going through the little scavenger hunt thing, but yeah, it just, as I'm sitting there watching this, I'm getting more and more disappointed that we're not getting an ending to the story that we saw. And then we get the characters sitting at the very end. At least I think it was the characters, because he says Janice is right as usual. When they pull back from the screen and you see the four of them sitting in the lawn chairs, wrapped up, watching this thing outdoors, and introducing the cast, the crew and everything like that. And I'm sitting there going, okay, so you're doing another meta thing where you're having the characters watch the finale of the show and agreeing with it, but it didn't work for me. That's all I can say on that one. Yeah. Yes, I agree with you, dude. He does admit that it's a self-indulgent episode, is what it is. And yeah, I don't know what to say. So yeah, I don't know really what more to say about this, to tell you the truth. I'm still kind of flabbergasted, I guess you could say. That is the word I never really use, but yes, I am flabbergasted as to what I just watched. And the ending of this just wasn't satisfying. I understood where he came from on this, the whole thing about feeling like you have lost some creativity, that you need to find who yourself was again, and that you are trying to reignite that fire, kind of thing. And the whole thing with the clown boy being him when he's younger, and then coming in and berating himself, and basically telling him to grow the fuck up. And all that stuff. I'm just kind of sitting there looking at this going, oh, wow, really? So you never kind of came through this on your own? Well, I guess, yeah, if you are drinking and stuff like that, I understand. With alcoholism, people have said, you kind of go through arrested development at that point, and you stop growing, of course. And I don't know, but yes, it just seemed kind of like this last episode was better left as a commentary thing, and not something that should have been part of the series. So Viking Bitch says, the very end with all those people saying, I am so and so, and I am you, reminded me of a Coke commercial. Yeah. It really did. I don't know, to tell you the truth. I'm kind of out there on this one. This doesn't the ending does not satisfy. Dude says, I'm going to dispatch his Discord with a lot of people that made it in the final clips, and they were excited about that, but still. Okay. Penn Farm Girl says, maybe the Jejun Institute is holding the real finale and you have to go on a quest to find it. That would actually be kind of funny, to tell you the truth. That I could actually see as, being something that would be worthy of this show, of what we already had set up, is that if we had some kind of clue as to where to actually find the real finale of this show, and that this was not it. Maybe there's a glowing tag someplace that we have to decipher to find the address. Someplace that oh man, or maybe we have to find a web address or something like that in order to find the real season finale. Hey, works. uh yeah. Viking Mitch says that would have been a fascinating story for the commentary track. I don't know. I didn't know he was an alcoholic. I wanted the magical ending. Yeah, I know. I wanted the magical ending too. I wanted something more, is what it was. And I guess that is the feeling, honestly, of playing the game, of the Institute game, that some people felt. Was some people were satisfied with it, some people were disappointed with it, some people found other meaning in it, and then some people were like, no, that's not the ending. There's a real ending out there someplace. I'm going to go and find it. And yeah. Yeah, I wanted our characters too. I had invested time in these characters. I invested feelings in these characters. And not to have those characters reappear for the finale, it just, I don't know, it just kind of, cliff me down below, someplace down here, off the cliff. And that's where it was. Yeah. And like I said, I believe I said this early on, the ending of this show would make or break it. And for me, it broke it. It really did. You joke, but people are working on it. Really? Yo, dude, that there are people looking for the real ending to this show. uh, yeah. I don't know. I just, I don't know at this point. Pen Farm Girl says, I still really enjoyed the ride. I'm glad I watched it. Yeah, I enjoyed the first 9 episodes. The first, honestly, it could have ended at episode 8, really, and we could have been good with it, because that was actually a natural ending point. I think that was, 8 was where it was. And then we knew we had 9 and 10 coming, and that's where things kind of run awry at that point. Yo, dude says, my girlfriend fell asleep before the finale. I'm going to tell her not to watch. Oh, come on. She might get a different reaction out of it. Yeah. And like I said, the finale will make or break a show. It really will. Legion had a perfect ending. 12 Monkeys had a perfect ending. There's a lot of shows that have perfect endings, and this just wasn't one of them, unfortunately. It really wasn't. And it's just that misstep. That's all it was. It was just the one episode. I'm sorry, Jason, if you're out there. I know you're probably not going to even see this at any point in time, but you needed to carry on the characters to an end point, and this was not the end point. Yeah. I agree with you, Marks. I like happy endings too. Yeah. So you notice I didn't go into a recap or a review. I actually had 3 pages of fucking notes written at this point, because I thought we were gonna go someplace special with this. I literally have, and I bring up too many books there at this point. I literally have 3 fucking pages of notes written here. Yeah. Actually, I stopped writing at that point, and it was just like, yeah, I'm kind of done with it at this point. But and I mean, it did have some profound things on there, like, the only thing that you need to know at any given point in time is what to do next, right? And sure, that is kind of a roundabout way of saying, free your mind and your ass will follow. It's just free your mind and your ass will follow is a much shorter and a much more poetic way of saying it. uh, uh, oh, you just got the happy ending, Viking bitch. Well, at least I can give someone a happy ending on that one. Dude says, I love Jason Segel too. He was the main attraction for me going into this. I just don't think this is the sort of finale that was earned. Yeah. It was a dropped ending. It really was a dropped ending. Yes, they're profound lines and stuff like that. Like I said, he's a very talented writer, and he's a very talented guy. And I think he needed to maybe write something out a little bit more out of his system. Like his younger self said, dude, you wrote a fucking Dracula musical, a puppet Dracula musical. That's actually kind of genius, to tell you the truth. I like the puppet Dracula musical, to tell you the truth. And that was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And I believe he did the entire thing, if I remember correctly. So he actually went through and did it. And I did like the kid saying, you know what, I'll be back. If you're going to write another Muppet show, a Muppet movie, I'll be back for that. Is what the kid said. I did like that, little line there, of course. So there were little things in it that were good, but again, it didn't end the series well. And that's what we were waiting for. Dude says, I just wasn't under the impression we were going to be watching a finale about Jason Segel, the human. Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that either. Yeah, the young actor was really, really good. Although I'm pretty sure that wasn't him doing the stunts. I couldn't tell you for sure, but if it was, fucking phenomenal. Hats off to you, kid. Yeah. The whole chocolate milk thing as, metaphor for drinking, and the little cartoon bit that was thrown in there too. There were some good moments in it. Like I said, it just, I wasn't expecting. So the whole thing leading up to him being in AA, basically saying, not knowing why he was there. And actually that mirroring in the very beginning when you had Peter sitting at what looked like an old man's bedside, hospital bed. There were too many things that were planted along the way to make us think we were going in one direction and then to pull the rug out from under us, at this point. And maybe that was the whole point of it, is to pull the whole rug out from under you when you think you're going in one direction, or, having all these ideas planted and then pulling them. It's kind of like life, I guess you could say. You have all these ideas planted of where you're going to go, and then you have the rug pulled out from under you and you fall into whatever this thing was that we saw at the end. Maybe that's what it was. Dude says, I was under the impression maybe the kid's chocolate milk was spiked in some way, especially when he collapsed. No, he just collapsed from exhaustion and drunkenness. So that was supposed to be the metaphor of Jason Segel, his career collapsing, because he was drunk and an alcoholic. And yeah, I got that. I got the whole thing once we went into the whole alcoholism thing, and I was like, all right. Excuse me. But yeah, definitely need a different ending on that one. So I take it the consensus is we're all kind of disappointed with this one. Just the ending. The first 9 episodes leading up to it, brilliant. And then we just were kind of let down. Well, that's all right. There's other good TV that's out there. So speaking of which, what else do I have going on? Tomorrow is going to be Future Man season 3, the final season of Future Man. And I know how that ends, and it ends well. So that's all I can say on that one. So if you want to watch something good, Future Man has it going on, and that's going to be happening tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday I'm going to be off. Friday is going to be a doubleheader of Harley Quinn and Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Saturday is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any genre stuff you guys want to talk about and talk about it. And Sunday is going to be the season finale of Westworld. And then we wrap around again to Monday, where I believe it's going to be Is It Worth My Time? And I think I'm going to be doing Picard. That's all I can say on that one. If that evil laugh gives you any kind of fear, that's the reason why. Not the worst letdown I've had with this TV show is what Penn says. Yeah, I know, with a TV show. I agree with you. Viking Bitch says, but you know what? I want to be entertained. Life is shit right now, and I just want to forget about how shit it is. I know that life will punch me in the face. I just don't need Siegel to point it out. Well said. Yeah, very well said on that one. Why am I doing Picard? Because I'm sharing my pain with you. It's a vanity project. You see how that all fucking wraps back around again? I may have lost it, it's all this work shit. So, man, that, and coupled with this, I mean, I'm sorry. I did not like this episode. I really didn't. Keep your damn pain to yourself. No, I must share my pain. Like Cybok says, share your pain with me. And for those of you who know who Cybok is, you get a no prize is what you get on that one. I'll give you a hint. It is related to Picard. Kind of. Celebro. Man, I'm sorry, man. Celebro 469 says, felt like someone shook the hospital inside the globe and said it's all inside the kid's mind. Yeah, pretty much. Dude says, I feel like Siegel threw away a lot of the credit he earned as a writer with this finale. I don't know, man. I still got where he was going with it, but at the same time, I kind of feel like there was a story that was left hanging. There was a good story with some good characters that were left hanging, and his personal stuff that he was dealing with that led him to making this show. Again, I agree with Viking Bitch, should have been in the extras. And he could have had an entire episode where it was just the extra, this whole thing. He could have done like that and did it as a bonus, Yeah. Pen Farm Girl says, well, it was the brother we never knew before we met the sister we never knew. Yeah. Dude says, would you hire a writer creator that's going to turn the last episode into a story about himself? If you knew it was only going to be a 1-season show and that was going to be it, they would possibly do it. AMC is wacky, man. AMC does some weird shit, and they spend money on some weird stuff sometimes. And look at Nosferatu. I don't know how that thing has gotten the viewers that it's gotten. It was pretty bad. At least one episode I watched. I watched the first episode and I couldn't watch anymore. It was that bad. But yeah, it's coming back for season 2. Yeah. We all have questions that will never be answered, Viking Bitch. Yeah. I feel like this is a very Hollywood thing to do. Yeah, if this starts becoming the trend where Hollywood people start, making vanity projects like this. Well, there's people that have done vanity projects before, but I don't know if to this extent. This is kind of an extreme version of a vanity project. Again, like I said, I feel like the rug has been pulled out from under me in this last episode, and yeah, it just wasn't something I was happy with. As you can tell from me being here, as long as I have talking about it and lamenting about it, and yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna let you guys go for the night because I got a little dog here that has been bothering me to go back outside, and yeah, I'm gonna go and do that, and maybe cook her some food and do it that way too because she deserves it. What the hell? Yo2 says, I feel like our goodwill has, as the few dedicated and engaged viewers, has been betrayed. I don't know about that. We had a good story up until, this one. So I think we're okay with it. This will soon be forgotten like everything else. I believe that was what was said at one point during the episode, was it not, that, things are forgotten? And yeah, that's where we're going to be at anyway. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Remember, tomorrow is going to be Future Man. I'm going to be covering that, season 3 of Future Man. Take a look at the schedule. Go to suspendedfanimation.com for the schedule of all my live streams. Also, all the links to all my social media. That's up there too. So remember, if you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up here at the very end. And up here is going to be Westworld, is what's going to be up there. Thank you, everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. Sorry for the ending. Not my, not out of my hands on that one. I had no hand in that whatsoever. Thanks, Yo dude. Stick around for other stuff. There's always new stuff coming up all the time. Take a look at the schedule that comes up. You'll see underneath there's future stuff as to what's coming up as well. I'm not going to be covering Stargirl because it's going to be a CW show is really what it's going to be. So that ain't going to happen. But there's other stuff that's coming up. So until tomorrow, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may be very disappointed with that season finale and most likely series finale of the show you just watched. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Stay safe. And, find your divine nonchalance. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you later.